You already know what needs to be done. That's not the issue. The problem is that you don't act on it. Not because you're lazy or weak, but because your mind has been trained to wait until everything feels right. You've been conditioned to pause for the perfect moment, but that mindset is quietly sabotaging your momentum. Every time you hesitate, waiting to feel ready, you lose valuable time, disrupt your rhythm, and chip away at your self-trust. We often convince ourselves that we need motivation to take action, that we have to wait for energy or inspiration to magically appear. We wait for the ideal window when everything aligns, our focus, our drive, our passion. But that window rarely opens, and certainly not when we need it most. While you're waiting for that perfect moment, your habits erode, your discipline weakens, and the goal you once had moves further away. Here's the reality. If you only take action when you're in the mood, you'll never build anything that endures. Consistency doesn't stem from emotion. It's a habit, a decision you commit to daily. Without it, you're always restarting, stuck in a loop of false beginnings. Everyone wants to win. Everyone craves the results. But few are willing to embrace the grind that precedes success. We love the end result, but avoid the process that creates it. People want the lifestyle without the labor, the rewards without the responsibility. They crave the story without the struggle that gives it weight. The real difference between those who talk about success and those who actually live it isn't luck, talent, or perfect timing. It's what they do every single day, quietly, consistently. When no one's watching, when there's no applause, no external validation, just relentless discipline. Most people skip that part. We live in a culture obsessed with fast results and highlight reels. Everyone wants the transformation, but no one posts the moments when it's dull, when progress stalls, when the journey feels thankless. But that's where real growth happens, in the silence, in the boredom, in the unglamorous repetition of effort. Change doesn't explode onto the scene. It builds slowly, in the moments that feel insignificant. It happens in gym sessions where your body looks the same, in study nights where you still feel lost, in businesses that earn nothing yet demand everything. And despite all that, you keep going. Because deep down, you understand that every rep, every page, every piece of content, it's not wasted. It's building. Even if no one notices, even if nothing seems to change. That's progress, quiet, steady, and real. People call it overnight success when it finally becomes visible. But you'll know the truth. You'll know that success was forged brick by brick, in the dark, in the discipline, long before the spotlight ever arrived. Most people quit just before results appear. They expect discipline to feel exciting, but it rarely does. They scroll through success stories and wonder why their own journey doesn't sparkle. They're waiting for fireworks, but what they need is the steady glow of a candle burning through the night. Discipline is mundane. Consistency is repetitive. But within that monotony lies true power. Growth doesn't happen when you feel like it. It happens when you push forward despite resistance. It's waking up at the same time every morning, even when your bed feels like quicksand. It's showing up despite 1,000 excuses whispering, "Just skip it today." It's putting in the work, without praise, without fanfare. Because the real magic isn't in the big moments. It's in the accumulation of small, consistent actions. Day after day, rep after rep, decision after decision, you build habits, and your habits build your life. Eventually, what you do becomes who you are. It starts with a decision about who you want to become. Then, you prove it to yourself through tiny, daily victories. Every time you honor a promise you made to yourself, you cast a vote for the future version of you. That's how identity is shaped. You don't need motivation if your routine sustains you. You don't need hype if you've built trust with yourself. Motivation is a fair weather friend. It's there when you feel good and gone when you need it most. Routine, though, it doesn't care how you feel. It only asks one thing. What did we agree to do today? The strongest people aren't those who never falter. They're the ones who struggle and keep going. They show up when it's inconvenient. They make ordinary discipline look heroic. And no, it won't always feel good. Sometimes it'll feel like nothing's working. But that's part of the test. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about honesty. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. It's action over excuses. It's standing in front of the mirror and saying, "I see the fear, I see the doubt, but we're doing this anyway." Perfection is the enemy of progress. Perfect is the lie we use to delay action. Real progress, it's messy. It's waking up groggy, doubtful, but still lacing up your shoes. Everyone wants shortcuts. They want the hack, the pill, the cheat code. They spend hours looking for a secret instead of just doing the work. They buy the gear, the books, follow the influencers, anything to avoid the truth. But maybe the real hack is simple. Show up, every day, no matter what. Maybe the magic formula is just doing what you said you'd do, longer than anyone expects. That's the difference between most and the few who actually win. They train when they're tired, study when they're unfocused, create when they're uninspired, because they know perfect conditions don't exist. Readiness is a myth. They start where they are, with what they have, and the path reveals itself as they walk it. Success is slow, quiet, unimpressive on the outside, but it compounds. There's no secret formula, no magic routine, just one choice, made again and again. It's the person who stays late, not because they're told to, but because they're not done. It's the one who doesn't brag about progress because they're too busy making it. Early mornings, late nights, daily uncelebrated effort. It's not loud or glamorous, but underneath, everything is changing. Real growth doesn't shout. It shows up in resilience, in how you carry yourself, how you bounce back, how you act when motivation vanishes. You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need perfect timing or ideal circumstances. You just need to keep showing up when it's hard, when no one claps, when no one even notices. That's the real difference, not chasing highs, but committing to the process. You don't have to be perfect today. You don't have to do it all. Just don't break the chain. One solid rep, one focused hour, one choice that says, I'm still in this. That's how greatness is built, not in bursts, but piece by piece. If you feel stuck, that's normal. If you feel like it's not working, that's part of the path. This moment, the one where you're unsure, is the one that counts most. Anyone can show up when it's new and exciting. But what about when no one's watching, when there's no applause? That's when real progress is made. When you show up instead of quitting, that's what separates the average from the unstoppable. Be the person who keeps promises to themselves, not for the world, not for praise, but because your word, to yourself, means everything. And don't wait for the perfect plan. Set a floor, not a ceiling. 10 focused minutes every day beats one exhausting day once a week. Make it automatic. Tie it to your life. Make it part of who you are.